Hi guys, and welcome to, I guess, episode 18 of a three-man meta podcast. But it's a vlog. You can see our faces. Look at us at our respective homes, and look at this professional layout that I spent time doing. We're really good
I
at
think
this
I think that was at
YouTube's.
least 3 hours you spent just before this call setting that up.
Yeah, we are really good at the YouTubes, hence why we've put out so many videos because I really enjoy playing Tabletop Simulator, so that's why I've done so
Oh
many.
yeah, me too.
Anyway, the purpose of this video is it's a bit late. Everyone else has kind of done theirs, but we wanted to talk about the world's experience, talk a bit about our games, and about the fun that we had. So we'll let Mr. National Champ, captain of the titles,
Yeah,
he
don't
he
remember.
got to America before me, and he got to
Yeah.
be part of the really important hyperspace report. So
Oh yeah,
so you go,
I'm
kid.
glad I went.
Yeah, I mean,
100%.
I actually was really jealous that I couldn't be in the hyperspace report. I think I was like in a plane when it was happening. No, I was on the coach.
Oh,
I was on the coach from my home city to London, and I was trying to watch it on the really bad coach Wi-Fi. Um, but it just just wouldn't have it. So, but then
yeah.
someone in the comments was like, "Oh, just do audio only," and I was like, "You're a genius." I actually put I actually put Not All Heroes Wear Capes and just listened to it, and I was
Nice.
happy. But Danny, what do you think about the Hyperspace Report?
Oh man, I was a little bit disappointed after they were like X-Wing 2.0. That's it. But thanks. We're gonna get a panel on, and I was like, there's no way in hell I'm sitting for an X-Wing panel. I played X-Wing for the first 3 or 4 waves, and then I stopped because the ships started being things I didn't recognize. Um, but then there wasn't really a moment to stand up and escape. So I was just, and I was sitting directly in front of the streaming webcam, the streaming camera. So if I stood up, it would have just been like me blocking everyone's vision as I left.
That'd have been
Um,
perfect. Like like when someone goes up to the toilet in in a cinema and just gets in everyone's
yeah.
way.
Excuse me. Sorry. I'm not interested in X-wing. Just yeah. Excuse me. Um, and I was really sad that I had to sit there and listen to people ask questions about X-Wing because I just didn't care. Uh, and then they were like, "Oh, we gave you a ticket when you came in. Come over here and get your prize." And I was like, "Oh, swag. Oh, cool. What do we get? A X-Wing miniature from the new expansion
And I was
set
like,
thing."
oh, clearly, Danny, he knows I play X-Wing. He knows that I've not been playing it for a while because I've been waiting for 2.0. Because much like the same, I've been feeling like X-Wing has just become futuristic spaceship shooter. It has not been a Star Wars tabletop game anymore because you just got all these extended universes. And to a lot of people, Star Wars is the extended universe, but to me, really, Star Wars is just the films, and to me, and also I guess the Clone Wars, that's quite cool, and I do quite enjoy Rebels. So for me, that's Star Wars, even though that's technically extended universe.
Yeah,
But anything else, like I don't know, I listened to the books because I ordered a book and I played a few of the games. I'm not too bothered about those ships. I just want X-wings and Tie
yeah,
Fighters and the
exactly.
related stuff. So I was
You want to
really
see like
excited.
A-wings, like fucking dogfighting with TIE fighters and all
Exactly.
that good stuff.
So I thought, oh, they've got a ship. My boy Danny's going to give me the ship, isn't he?
Yeah.
What did you do with that ship?
Well, I thought, well, wait a minute. What I'm going to do is that people are fucking idiots, so I'm going to put it up on Facebook. So I went straight to the main, like, Star Wars FFG marketplace trading group, which I never post in, I never look at. But I was like, you know what? Some idiot's going to buy this. And if you're watching this, yeah, you're an idiot.
Yeah,
Um,
especially with the amount you
so I
sold it
threw it
for. Oh
up,
god.
$100, brand new, 5 month early X-Wing expansion with foldable X foils. Sold it within 45 minutes for $100.
Mental.
Suddenly, the hour I spent sat watching that panel became very worth it, and
Yeah,
I was super mad.
yeah. I mean, I can't fault you if you manage to get $100 for something which will retail for 14.99 in a few months' time. Uh,
Like, if they were going for like $20, $30, would have just given it to you.
mm,
That just don't care that much.
yeah.
Uh, $100 though,
If it
needed that money.
if it said on it like, world's exclusive, early release. You know how sometimes you get like Kickstarter exclusive stuff or day
Yeah,
one stuff. Then I'd understand it'd be worth money, but as is just going to be the generic retail box.
just just a retail box. But he gets to go down to his local store, crack his 2.0 X-wing out, realize that he has to fly Biggs, which has now been nerfed, and then won't use his new X-wing.
Yeah, well, there is a new set that's come out which is
Okay.
Saw's Rebels, and they've got.
That's not out yet, though. I don't
I think
think.
it has. I haven't even bought it because I was going to get it because it's got the fix to the X-wing, but then X-wing 2.0 is the biggest fix to the X-wing, so I might as well just not get it. And although I'll miss out on a cool painted T65, I already own four T69 four T6 four T65s. There we go. That's a mouthful.
Yeah,
And I'm going to get more, obviously, when I buy the core set and the new expansion. So I don't
yeah.
really care. This one's painted. If I really want, I'll just get someone, you,
Yeah.
to paint it for me.
Yeah.
So in that colours. So I'm not really that bothered. But anyway, you haven't come here to listen to X-Wing. You come here to listen to Destiny. So
Today.
anyway, so that was what you did, and then obviously after that,
Uh,
I've just noticed something. Like while you're talking, I'm just gonna
yeah.
just carry on. I'm listening.
Okay.
Carry on telling the world about your world experience.
Okay. Um, so just a little step before the hyperspace report, I show up to the FFG Centre and I meet up with the guys from the European testing group. So that's like Klaus from Your Destiny and some of the national champions from throughout Europe, the best continent of Star Wars Destiny, by the way. And we just play some casual games, and we have a cheeky 10 a.m. beer as well for some reason, the Spanish, I guess. Um, After that, we just kind of like potted about and just did a bit of like casual testing. Pods and stuff didn't start until the following day, uh, so we all just kind of took it easy, just played some test games. We did go to have some all-you-can-eat crab, which was excellent. Uh, and then we had some beers with Knights of Ren and people. And then we went to bed. And then we woke up in the morning and was ready to absolutely slam pods,
So
which is what we did.
So I was just laughing because I've noticed in the back of your webcam you've got your store champs plaque, your regional plaque, and your national champs one. So I've just gone. You can't see my video. I've just gone and got my regional one as well, and I've also gone and picked up everything that I could find. So I've got my Victory Cup first place for when I did a Pokemon Cities
No one gives
Cities
a shit about
Championship in 2012. I've got my top four really cool. Destiny thing, which I can hold my Pokemon thing in there. I've also got a collection of medals from X-wing, so just and an actual medal. I
Well,
just
so
figured,
do I have to go get my challenge coins? Is that the stage we're getting to
yeah,
right
well,
now?
if you're gonna be showing off your stuff, I've got plenty more. I could go up
I
in my, I
mean,
could go up in my loft and go get a few more.
I would like just to point out, I may have rearranged it a little bit,
Yeah,
but
you
this is where
totally
I
did.
keep.
When we started, they
Yeah,
weren't
yeah,
there.
yeah, 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 yeah. I dragged them forward and made them a bit showy. I'm not gonna lie, people know how good I am, but I need to let them know how good I am. But this is where they live. Like I may have just straightened them up a bit and maybe squashed them into the air a bit, but all this stuff lives right on this countertop here.
Oh, okay.
So I didn't have to go get anything to show off. That's just where they live
Yeah.
because like I can't have my nerdy trophies in the lounge.
Oh, so yeah, I'm in my lounge, and mine are in my lounge
Yeah.
because I have a
And
lot of crap in here.
and there is obviously an awesome story which I'm sure loads of people already know about this playmat, but you don't have one of these, do you? Oh, oh.
I don't because I'm a massive scrub. That's why.
How nice that is. I feel really sorry for my Grievous mat because that shit is not getting played on ever again.
Yeah, I mean, I only play the Grievous mat for the
The prestige,
fear
right?
factor it gives
Yeah,
when you put it down. Like
yeah.
I've got,
And that's why I primarily played it with as well. But there's 7 other people that have that playmat in this country, at least, right? And that's if anyone hasn't grabbed one from another nationals event.
I want the
There's
Grievous
only
one.
one of these in the UK.
There's two. Oh, did Sandlot get one in the end? No, he didn't, did he?
No, he finished 41st.
Oh no, so you got one.
So there's only one of these in the UK at the moment. I will take offers starting at £1,000.
It has got the next world champ of every card game
It's
ever
got, I've got,
signed
it's
on
got
it.
a signature. It's got a signature of the future world championship multi-winner, like the future Jeremy, basically.
Yeah, on it. Cool. So where did you get your story? Because I wasn't listening. I didn't have my headset in.
So yeah, so day one we just played loads of pods. Just as the European testing group, pretty much we filled a pod and we just kept playing through. Oh no, tell a lie. The night before we did the Chance Cube Open, which I was feeling confident, and then it went really badly. Ended up going 2-3 and finished 15th. But the best thing about finishing 15th was that my lowest finish to date was 16th. Um, no, yeah, 16th. It was from the London regional.
Well,
So 16th,
the one that had
low.
17 players.
No, it's like 27, 24 players. I'm not saying it was a good result. I'm just saying my lowest ever finish in a Star Wars Destiny tournament is 16th. Um, what's yours, Leighton?
My lowest finish will be
Yeah.
100th, which is Worlds.
Okay.
That's my
Okay.
lowest finish. Other than that,
So does that mean
43rd, 43rd, which was Euros. Other than
okay.
that, second.
You've definitely finished fourth in some of the Q kits
Yeah, well, yeah.
this year.
There was that Q kit. There was literally four of us, and we played 3 rounds, and I lost all 3 rounds. That doesn't really count.
Definitely counts. But it's still fourth, right?
Yeah,
That's what matters.
it's still fourth. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so I played the Chance Cube. I played Ray Ayala just as a bit of a warm up because that was what I was going to play the Worlds, and it just didn't click as well as I was hoping it would. Um, Binned out totally. Got three promos from the new Q kit, which we've yet to be have one in the UK. So I guess they're quite exclusive so far.
I want the tokens
Uh,
just for the collection because now I
yeah,
have the only plastic that they have produced for this game that I don't have now
oh,
is the power action tokens and
oh yeah.
the spin down life
These
tokens.
houses selling his, mate. They're only about $700.
Although Joe was telling me he's got to bring his price down, man, because because he's never going to sell
He
it.
wants to get his up.
Yeah.
So yeah, we did Chance Cube. Todd from Knights of Ren ended up winning that one with Kylo Townsend, which kind of shows you probably where the meta should have been that weekend. And then yeah, next day we just played tons of pods, and that would have been the Wednesday. So that's the day that you guys showed up, right? Was it Wednesday?
Yeah. So
Thursday.
I travelled. Yeah, I travelled to London on Tuesday, flew out
Yeah.
in GMT 1 o'clock, and then got into Minnesota at 6 p.m. And then I waited around for Sam,
Yeah.
Sam Miles, European second place, because I was sharing a motel with him. Uh, he was the honorary third man of the meta over the weekend. Uh,
Gave him a shirt and everything,
yeah,
but not a new shirt. We just gave him James's
because we only had
broke.
three. We only had
Yeah.
three shirts. We're like a Sunday pub team. Like if you bring a sub in,
Yeah.
you have to borrow someone's shirt and take it home and wash it. Not
Yeah.
not can't afford to get new shirts printed all the time. So I had to wait around for him, and then that's right. And then we messaged you. We're like, how much was it for an Uber for you to get back from the airport? You're like, oh, about $20, and I was like, okay,
Yeah.
cool. So I got Uber on my phone, and it said, oh, it'd be like $35. And Sam was like, oh, it's probably because it's a peak time. Let's go down to the taxi rank. I reckon it'll be cheaper. And I'm like tired. I've been up for a long, long time. I didn't sleep on the plane at all. I watched like 4 films on my 10-hour flight. So okay, cool. Yeah, let's go to the taxi rank. We get in the taxi. Um, it was $65 or something like this, and I literally had about $80 in cash on me because I didn't want to take out all my spending money I have on my wallet because I could just use my card at cash points / ATMs. So I just spent all my money in my wallet like one go. It's like great, I better go get some money out next time. We got to our motel. We went down to the tournament center, but there was like only a few people around. And then
Yeah.
I think we head down to the Radisson, but everything had kind of like we had
Yeah.
kind
Been
of
down by that point.
by that point. So I didn't really get into anything until Thursday. So Thursday was the first day was the first day of actual pools, wasn't it?
Yeah, 1A.
1A, but much like Danny, that's when we just did the side events, the side event pools. And in my first one, after the first game, we were then doing the pairings for the second game, and I heard this quite distinctive English voice from the table opposite me, but not the person I was placing, but the next person. And I was like, Game Slayer. He was like, yeah. And I was like, it's Leighton. And he was like, oh, hey. And I was like, I was like, I hope I was going to bump into you because I knew you were coming. And we had our little pod. And then, and as if you've watched his little video report, he latched onto onto me and Sam. But it was cool. I knew he'd be like, he just came down by himself. So I was hoping to bump into him and hang out with him because when we did our podcast and had been chatting, I get on really well with him. So I thought,
As you shouted many times during the weekend, this is England, right?
yeah,
So the English have got to.
stick together.
Well, the British. Sorry, I'm
We
not. I'm not being a nationalist scumbag. We're British,
No,
not
no,
English.
I'm English, mate. I
Oh,
was born
wow,
in England.
wow,
That's the country I
wow.
was
We have
born
to
in.
stop this podcast. I didn't realise you were like that.
That's the country I was born in.
Wow.
But anyway, it was what was I going to say? I was going to say something. I've forgotten it. Fuck you.
Uh, Game Slayer latched on. You
uh,
love him.
no, I can't remember. Anyway, so we just hung out, did a load of pods. It was quite funny because he had obviously never really played the game other than when it came out in the December pre-release. So he was
Yeah.
like smashing his deck hard. And being the maverick I am, I was just playing a different deck every pod.
Yeah.
I
I
was
was gonna do that, but I just kept doing shit. Like my first pod, I went 2-1, and I was like, cool. Second pod, 0-3, and I was like, what the fuck is happening? But I was playing in like the European testing group pods, so I ended up breaking away from them after my 0-3 and was like, I'm gonna go play some scrubs, and I managed to rack in quite a lot of 2-1s, but I never 3-0'd a pod. Could never pull out that last win.
no, yeah, I faced against Game Slayer I think in the third round of two pods and he beat me both times.
Yeah,
And then we kind of decided be like right when we're going to queue for pods, let's not join the same pod. Let's join
yeah,
a different pod and play against different people because
yeah.
inevitably we're going to keep playing against each other all the time.
Yeah. And
Um,
we did play in a pod as well, didn't we? We played one pod together and we did end up playing each other the second round of it.
oh
Or
yeah,
last round.
is that when you were playing your Ayala and I was playing Qui-Gon Yoda? We got to this point we were just constantly just looping our ancient
Yeah.
lightsabers, and it was
Yeah, we
like,
were double with both cycling ancient lightsabers and
and it just we just roll
well,
out, and whatever we got was like, okay, I'll just resolve that, and then right, I'll just heal four, I'll bring them back
yeah.
out, and then I think
But that probably happened to me at least 4 or 5 times in pods where me and another mono blue deck were just looping ancient sabers. And there was one game where it was game two. We started at the same time as the other game two. They finished by the other four people finished. They then played game three, and they just had these two guys just waiting for us. Um, while we were just looping ancient lightsabers for like 10 rounds because nobody timed their pod
that's it. We were
and
supposed to keep
nobody
an eye on.
wanted to time their
Yeah,
pod.
you're supposed to keep eye on it, but you end up just like playing. I think I got to the point I was like, fuck it, I'm just going to discard one of these to re-roll to try and kill you. Oh, I don't kill you, sweet, you win. Have 10
Yeah,
more tickets.
it took me 2 hours to from the start of a pod to the finish of the pod, and then it was also like an hour wait between pods where you had to wait for table spaces and stuff to come up. So and that was the day I was gonna like really grind them, and after like my first pod took 2 hours, it just killed it
Yeah.
totally for me.
So I think I did like four pods in the end because the way I looked at it was, um, it's my first time to America. I kind of want to see a bit of America. So, and I also really wanted to hang out with all the other content creators, all the guys from the states. And for me,
Yeah,
that was number one most highlight of the whole thing.
absolutely.
Like, had
Yeah,
such a good time.
yeah, because that was the night of the 3v3, right? So after we did all of our pods, that night was the 3v3
Oh yeah,
tournament
it
at
was.
Spence,
Yeah. So
where we were dominating until we didn't.
yeah. So was that? I remember it was a mad rush that me and Sam ran back to our motel
Yeah,
room because it was you couldn't have two copies of any card across in a
all
deck,
3 days.
all three decks. So so we were like, right, what are we going to play? And I was saying for a long time we should just play heroes because like Danny brought quite a lot of stuff with him, so because he could
Mm.
make his mum play. I was kind of polarized that I wasn't going to play Boba's Seven Sister at the event, but I still brought a Sabine Ezra with me and the stuff to make Qui Gon Yoda because I really enjoy playing Qui Gon Yoda. and I knew Sabine Ezra's a strong deck, even though I'm shit at it.
It's trash.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, we can just do hero because I've got Sabine Ezra, and we'll just do a blue deck, a red deck, and a yellow deck. But we ended up going down the villains path, didn't we? And so, what was Sam? Did Sam play Kaido Greedo on that? I can't remember what he played.
No, he was playing something bad, but was something good. No, he's playing Palpatine, right?
He played Palp. I played Boba Seven's sister, and then we cobbled together a Tarkin. What was your
Doctor Aphra.
Doctor Aphra deck for Danny to play,
Horrendous.
and it was awful. I mean, so there's no wonder why he struggled, but I won all my games.
Yeah, but this is why you did it right. You gave me the shit deck, so I would lose, and you could be like, "Oh, we're just carrying you. You're so bad."
Maybe, but it was fun. But that was where we got to hang out with the double blanks guys, and obviously when we got to play against Knights of Ren, and we won our games, and they wanted us to move out from our table, and I was like, "Fuck you, man! I've travelled across the world to get here. This table's England. You want to come play against me? Come to my table." And Todd was all like, "Oh, I'm gonna come and kick your little ass." And obviously,
that's a good Todd impression.
and obviously
I'll
didn't.
take it.
So I was like, "Oh, what are you gonna do when you come to our table?" Absolutely fucking nothing.
Yeah.
It was.
And I beat Sugi. You beat Todd, and Sam scrubbed out to Rick because Rick was playing Kylo something, and his versus Palpatine, so that was just a GG for him, really.
Yeah. So it was fun. We lost to Eric Wainwright's team, didn't we? Both you and Sam lost your games, and I.
Yeah.
I won
Eric.
mine.
Yeah, I had to play Eric, and it got to the point where I just needed a little bit more, and I just couldn't do it. I got milled.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
That was really fun. So I mean, I spent a lot of time with Chris and Jay from Double Blanks, and those guys are just as they are online. They are great. I fucking love hanging with them.
And Jay had binned out, like obviously at 1A.
I mean, I didn't realise how he was like proper wasted.
He was wasted. I've got a photo. I'm gonna dig it out because I don't think I published this one or not. Doobie doobie do. Keep talking while I find.
Well,
this.
I'd say, and being the people that we are, we loved correcting every American English thing to an English. Sorry, it's aluminium, not aluminum. It's football.
I also explained to Todd what Eiffel Towering is.
Oh yeah.
And he got really excited by it. He's fully in for the Eiffel Tower.
Yeah, he did love that.
We Eiffel Towered later that night, actually, in a photo.
You did part of an Eiffel Tower.
So this is a very awkward photo of me licking Jay's face while he is clearly very drunk.
He's very inebriated there.
Into it.
Yeah.
So anyone who wants this for personal reasons, or you want to get blown up on a t-shirt, just let me know. I'll send it over.
Hey, Danny's your man. Yeah, and Mike Rudin was a hero as well because he had his the Jedi Spy because he rented a car. So we got on. So we didn't go for lunch together on day one, but on day two when we played, we had like an hour lunch window, and me and Sam, Chris, Jay, and Mike.
And me.
And you. We did two cards.
That was just after my 2-hour pod that I wanted to kill myself. So I was like, I'm go to the game center and get my battle droid.
Yeah, we had two cards, didn't we? We ran down to this like pizza place, had pizza, and we were literally like saying to like the waitress, like, "Oh, can you like get our checks like as we're eating because we don't have much time."
Like pizzas hit the table. It's like, "Can we get the check?" Please?
And we're just like scoffing it down. And I've got like an asbestos mouth, so I can eat hot stuff. Just like years of eating my mum's cooking, coming when it's been served as hot as the sun, and drinking cups of tea. And I was just smashing it in. And then we just like we got back like I think we got back just as that round had started. The next round.
Yeah. You guys were super rushed. If that was me, I would have been like.
Oh yeah, because you weren't even playing. Yeah, I was. Yeah, you weren't even.
I was playing. I went back and did a pod.
Yeah, so that was quite funny. So I guess I'll talk a bit about my my day. So my first round was against a Dooku Tarzan Dooku Dooku Talzin deck, and I look at it.
That sounds jank. You beat it, right?
And you look down at that, and I mean, maybe I'm a bit of a snob, but I just think that's an instant win, right? I should win this. So I think I re-rolled two bobber dice, a ancient lightsaber, a vibro knife 4 times to net 1 damage. Oh,
Feels real bad.
it felt so good. And then I think he just like the next round he just did like the nut roll, hit god roll, and then it killed me. I think I got a god roll the round I lost. So I killed like Talzin, and then Dooku's got like he's got an ancient an heirloom, and I'm like sitting there and just getting smashed. That was a game loss. My next round, I did actually take some notes. Wasn't notable,
Well,
obviously.
I was going to take notes and then I didn't.
Um, uh, Maybe did notes. Oh yeah, I played against a Qui-Gon Yoda. Beat it really comfortably. I killed Qui-Gon, I think round 2, and he was just and Yoda had like a heirloom on him. It was like, yeah, you win, but you're just going to mitigate this one dice. Played against the German national champ. He was playing Yoda Hondo. That man's
Chris.
that man's dice just roll specials. He rolled out Hondo with a cunning. I remember he had a cunning, a handcrafted light bow, and he also had the lone operative, and the 2 Hondo die, and they all came up special, every single one.
Yeah.
I was like, all
That's what
right,
you want.
this sound the alarm in my hand's looking really good right now. So that was a loss.
Yeah.
Beat Obi Mars, beat against a Tarkin 7th Sister deck, beat that. And then my final one, so I was now 3-2, so I needed to win my final match to make it to day 2. Now my goal really was to make it into day 2 because I was thinking about it. It's not like when you go down to our Q kits are a fucking joke. It's just
Yeah.
it's us lot. So it's a joke in the sense that there's no new blood coming in, but the quality of play is good because we're fucking good. But it's just whatever. But when we go to like a store champ somewhere, you might have some of those people's best players, but I never feel like
Yeah.
the play here I'm friend. Or when we got
No.
a couple of regionals, I'm always like, yeah. I mean, I only went to one regional because I won my
Yeah,
first
which is
one.
probably the scrubbiest regional in the country, by the way.
Yeah, well, I won it, and I was
know.
just like, yeah, I think I'll just spend some time with my wife and
Yeah.
not go out every weekend, which I kind of wish I had gone to the regionals. I would have had fun. But
Yeah.
anyway,
That's
the point I'm making is, if you've gone to Worlds, you've either won your ticket to get there, but through national events, regional events, or you've bought a ticket. But if you bought a ticket, unless you're a Minnesotan local or drive within the 6-hour radius that most people like class as a normal drive for an American, you're probably a pretty good player to want to come to Worlds. So the
yeah.
quality of play is good. I don't think many people were really playing decks for the lols. Maybe the guy who was dressed up as Kane and Jarrus when he played Elite Kane and Elite Hera didn't quite realise he was at the Worlds and not at his local store championship. And maybe should have
Yeah, he went 0-3 to old Kanan.
and maybe he should have played a better deck. But the quality of play there is quite high. So anyway, so my plan was, if I can make it into day 2, I'd feel like I've done a good show for myself to make it to the second day. It's good for the podcast, yada 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 yada, and also for the people who donated in my GoFundMe. So I'll do my shout out to them now. So I'm going to do a big shout out to Victor Jan Hagen, Barry Clark, Laura Macy, Peter Marshall, my brother Jake Pointer, Liz Page, Stephen Sage, my boss Chris Neal, Ben Shellcross, Robert Chalmers, Simon McCulloch, Sam Watson, the one and only Sam Watson, I should say, and Lol Craven. You guys, thank you ever so much. You're probably not even fucking watching this, so oh well. But if you do watch this, thank you very much for your donations, because I literally wouldn't have gone if it weren't for you guys. Oh, and also massive thanks to my family as well, my mum and dad and my in-laws for helping. But anyway, what you wanted to listen to me to say. So this game, I've got to win it to make it through. We get down.
No pressure.
No pressure, exactly. He's playing Kylo Talzin, so it's a very strong deck. A very good meta core as well for this event. But I'm not playing mono. I think it's a good matchup for Boba 7th. I played it twice in that regional that I won, and I beat James in the final, and I felt quite confident. All I knew I had to worry about was a No Mercy. And normally I always kind of don't consider No Mercy because, like, for some reason I just can't get my head around that card. I know it's good, but I always sit with it in my hand. Like we had some games last night, and I was playing Kylo Anakin, and I have it in my hand, and I'm just like, I could do 5, but I'd rather put a weapon or do some removal.
No.
I need to change. I know I need to change my mentality about
I
this.
can play this lightsaber and do 2 damage if I roll well, or I can do 5 damage.
Yeah, I know. I'm wrong, and I know I'm wrong, and I know I need help. But anyway,
Yeah.
so but I did a good thing, Danny. So when I had my 7th sister with an heirloom and a Maul's on her, spicy honor.
Yeah.
Uh, he took a resource and kept the Kylo too, and I'm like, why has he done that? Why has he taken
Did
that
he?
resource?
Was that his second resource by
It
any
was
chance?
a second resource.
Oh, what could he be
And
planning?
I'm looking at my dice, and I'm like, I've got like 6 damage here. I should resolve my damage. Hang about! Let's not resolve that damage. I'm going to play He Doesn't Like You on that Kylo too. And I was like, do you have a No Mercy in your hand by any chance? He's like, maybe. And then I was like laughing. So, and then the next round, when he does the discard up, I see a No Mercy go into the graveyard. So that was quite interesting. But the thing right at the end was I believe it's now it's Bobber versus Talzin, because I killed off Kylo first. Bobber versus Talzin. Bobber's got the Vibro Cutlass on him. I roll in and I have I've got to do 6 to win, I think it is, and I roll out 6. 4 for 1 on the Cutlass, but I also got the Bobber special showing. He says to me, right, you got no resources. And I say, I have no resources left. My deck is completely gone. He's got 1 card left in his deck. He goes, okay, I'm going to play a Speller removal, and I'm going to remove your Bobber special. So his thought was, he's going to remove he thinks I can't resolve my 4 for 1, so he's going to remove the Bobber special to stop me doing the Bobber 4 for the 4, and then the 2 1/6 I have left for the lethal, for the 6 lethal. And I can't say to him, oh, I can resolve that. You know, I don't have to tell him.
Yeah.
He didn't ask, can you resolve that? He asked, do you have any
Have you got any
resources?
money?
I said, I have no resources. Then, after I remove my Bobber special die, he then goes, oh crap, that's a Vibro Cutlass on Bobber who's yellow. You can resolve it for free, can't you? And I was like, yeah, I can. He then asked me the question, can I take it back? Now,
And you're the only person the whole weekend.
Now, you know me, if you listen to this. I love it when people do things like that. When people try and play overconfidence and they haven't got a blue character, and I go, well, cool, you've spent 1 resource and lost a card from your hand. I preach that quite heavily. But when I was at my regional, I mean, Danny classes it a scrubby regional, only because he didn't win. I was really
6 regionals.
I was really nice, and I let everyone who wanted to take something back take it back. So, and karma was on my side, especially when I god rolled and did 16 damage round 1 to someone. But karma was not favouring my dice this whole event. I didn't god roll anyone. Every one of my wins was a slog, apart from the Yoda Qui-Gon one. That was a pretty. Oh, sorry, that's a pretty one. But every other one was a real slog of a match. So I'm sitting there and I say to him, "Am I going to be that guy? Because I've taken the dice off the table. You've already said what one you want to do. We've completed it, and it's now my turn. Do I want to go through to day 2 on a mistake?" And everyone's probably screaming, "Yes, you should do. Yes, you should do." But I went, "Do you know what? No, I'm gonna change it." So I put the Bobber special back, and I take off the 4 for 1, and it's my turn. So I pitch a card to reroll. So I've got my 2 Bobber dice, a Vibro knife, and a ancient lightsaber. So my roll before was obviously the 4 special. I think my Bobber was shit, and then a couple of 1s on the ancient and the Vibro knife. I reroll on my dice. Karma looked down upon me and said, "This man's going for the day 2. 2 sticks on Bobber, 2 sticks on Bobber, plus 2 sticks on the Vibro knife, plus 3 sticks on the ancient lightsaber. Get off my table. Here we go. You're going to day 2. So,
it's a strong roll.
Yeah, I mean, I looked down at my dice and I was like, "Thank you. Where the fuck were you on my other games? I could have really done with that when I was about to lose and not had to go through the stress." So making it through the Dame 2, I was over the moon. I was so happy. When I collected my tokens, I thanked the guy, and the guy that I beat, he was like, "Oh man," he was really happy for me as well that the dice came up, because obviously like he didn't have a negative experience and me not letting him take something back. So that felt really nice. I felt really good. I also went up to a judge afterwards and I told him, I was like, "Right, judge, if I'd have called you over, what would you have said?" And he was like, "Oh yeah, he's played his card. I wouldn't have take it back.
He's done.
He's done." So I was like, "Oh, okay, cool. At least the judge, done the right thing." But I did sometimes the right thing isn't the most moral thing to do.
You definitely don't win good guy of the event though. We'll get onto that
Yeah, we will
story a
get
bit
onto that
later.
a bit later. Yeah. So, but that felt good, and I was
Yeah.
so happy to make the
Well,
day. I
that's
felt
that's not the Leighton I know and hate.
yeah, yeah, turning over a new leaf.
Yeah.
Trying to be less salty. Wasn't that didn't happen last night, but
Oh, that was so good. Oh.
yeah.
So just as a quick side story, I don't even remember exactly what happened, but Leighton did something stupid, asked if he could take it back, and James was like, "No, you've done it." And Leighton just scoops his cards and stands in the corner, real angry, and it was fucking
Well, I was like,
glorious.
no. Well, that was such. The thing is, it was the dumbest thing. For some reason, I thought the card I had in my hand, which was clearly a
Oh
fucking
yeah,
grey
yeah, you
card,
played a
was
doubt,
clearly
right?
a grey card. I thought it was a hidden motive. So I was like, sweet, this 5-for-1 indirect you can't resolve. I'll hidden motive it, and then he rolls it into the 4 for nothing. And I was like, oh shit, yeah, it's doubt. Cool. I'll do a different one. He was like, and I was like, no. And it was the thing is, it was such. I lost the game there and then. So I was like, so it was a combination of being angry at him and angry at me. And then I was like, no, fuck it, you've won. I'm done. Scoop the cards up.
Didn't even like gracefully like do it. You were so bitter,
I was like,
like
yeah.
bitter.
I apologised profusely
You,
afterwards.
you did.
And I gave him a
You
lift
did.
home, as I always do. So,
Good, good
put an
guy.
extra hour on my journey home, dropping you, James, and
Oh
Steve
yeah,
and Steve off.
and Steve back. There we go.
Um,
That's what I
but yeah, so anyway, back into when I was a good person. I was
want.
really happy to make it the game into the second day, and then that's when we had a lot more hangout. What did we do on that evening? Did we on?
That was Knights of Ren. That was May 4th. So that was
That
the
was
Knights of Ren community hangout where everyone but the Hyperloops were there because they had their own
their own.
cooler party for cooler kids.
Yeah, that was really cool. We gave
Um,
away the swag. Where that's right. When they had the raffle, and I won entry into what was it? The American Nationals.
the North American Championship says.
Yeah, and I was just like, sweet, I'll come if you guys pay for my flight, give me
Yeah.
somewhere to stay. So I said I'll put that prize back into the pool. But I won something even better. I won an I Rebel playmat, which is somewhere.
Had a double blanks t-shirt, right?
Oh no. Jay was just because I didn't
Oh, he just.
because I believe in personal hygiene. I didn't want to wear the same 3-man meta t-shirt for 2 days in a row.
Okay.
So I said to Jay, if you give me a double blanks t-shirt, I'll wear it for day 2. But he was too pissed to give it to me, and he didn't give it to me until the Sunday. So yeah, so that's how. So you may be the only person in England that has a Darth Maul playmat. I'm the only person in England who's got a double blanks t-shirt, and
You
personally,
say that. Someone could have bought one, right?
well, they don't fucking count. They bought it. It was given to me.
Personally handed to
Personally
them by the
handed to me.
man.
Yeah.
The trash master
Jay
himself.
got it out of his bag that he won, that he is so proud of,
Yeah.
and gave it to me. So
Oh yeah, his Ziploc bag.
his little. Well, yes, it's like if anyone is English, like the chavs who wear like those like fucking JD
Full
sports
stand.
bags. He's basically got one of those, but in like Ultimate Guard or whatever it was.
Yeah.
So
VIP Ultimate Guard.
so I don't think like the American people really understand the humor that I do that bag.
Yeah. And there were like 10 of them got given away. Every time it was like, and we're going to give away another one. I was like, don't call my ticket. I'd rather not win.
Especially when there's like.
I ended up not winning anything, but.
You didn't win anything, did you? Oh, okay.
No, I didn't win anything. I imagine, and I'll grab a photo of this, but we had a bit of a European score to settle, I guess, during the daylight hours of the Knights of Ren meetup.
Yeah, we just
where
the Your Destiny challenged us to a game of beach volleyball on this very small. Well, it wasn't a small, but there's like a beach volleyball sand court at this bar, and yeah, there we are. Well, there's me and
we are.
and Sam's obviously in the bin somewhere because he was fucking.
Yeah, he's probably going to go get the ball that he
smashed over the fence.
river. Because when I smashed it over the fence, I went straight into like where everyone was drinking and having fun.
Yeah.
Like,
I got like 4 aces, so again, my back was hurting for carrying the team. I think I scored our only points, but
well, it's a good thing you helped us. We still lost actually, so fuck you. You won't play better next time.
Score every point for us next time.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that was fun. But yeah, that hangout was really cool. Apart from what wasn't cool was that I ended up buying everyone's first round of drinks. So I come to go set on my tab up. I think I had like 3
The
new.
German players, I'm pretty sure, like the lemonade, I think Christina bought that, so I think she owes you a lemonade at Euros. No, you're not going to Euros. You've got to go to Euros and get your lemonade back.
Well. So I bought like 3 beers. You and
Yeah.
I shared half a chicken and some chips because we weren't massively hungry. And
Yeah.
then you bought that, you paid for that, and then I went to
Yeah.
go get my tab, $61. And I was like, what?
Yeah. I suppose it's also like where they sneak in tax and all that shit. America's fucking weird, man.
Yeah. Oh, God, like that's what we saw about last night. It's like I get that every state has a different tax and items have a different tax,
Yeah.
but I'm not in every fucking state at once. I'm in one state and I'm buying one item. So just put that item's price and tax. Like somehow our country can do it, can calculate the fucking tax for every different item's different tax
Yeah.
and have it in the price. But
Yeah.
oh well.
We're good.
You know, it's the American dream. It's the American.
It is the American. It is the American dream. I think yeah. So yeah, Knights of Ren was super fun. That was probably the funnest night.
Yeah, that was the most fun night. Because again, it was hanging out with everyone.
Just everyone was there. Chance Cube, I Rebel, Golden Dice, Three Man Meta, Your Destiny,
Jedi Trials.
Trials, Double Blanks. I've probably already said them.
Yeah.
Knights of Ren. And that's where we got the photo taken. And I've got a copy of it saved actually. Let's go through memory lane. Who doesn't want to watch my shitty holiday photos pointed at our webcam?
So that that was really fun. Like just I mean like I keep saying, just hanging out with all those guys was the best part.
And you can kind of see there, that's me and Todd, the man, Eiffel towering, but not with anything in the middle, I guess.
Somewhere in that picture. My little.
I think you're at the back.
Yeah, because I see me. Because I'm tall, you know. Just
some trash.
Stick me to the back, but yeah.
They're right behind me.
Yeah, it was just I got to spend quite a lot of time with just Jay and Chris, and that was there I am, yeah, right behind your shoulder, and just chatting to them. It was really really nice, and also not just like chatting about Destiny, just chatting about stuff like we did the whole sort of like
life
change of culture, like so you call it soccer, but it's football because we kick a ball with our feet. You call it football, but you hold an egg with your hands. So, you know, got that argument in. Oh, and also every restaurant we went to, Jay and Chris, hey, you got any sweet tea?
Yeah. Got any sweet tea?
I was like, no, we've got
put some sugar in it. Nah, man. Put some sugar in the tea and it doesn't dilute.
Yeah, that was hanging out with it, and then trying to teach them how to do an English accent was fun. Talking music to Mike Rudin because he plays in a band, and that was his favourite band is Jamiroquai, which surprised me.
Nice.
So
I've got where's my favourite Mike photo?
Down memory lane with all the photos.
Yeah,
I have also if you may see some different content coming from Gameslayer. So I brought 2 Dragon Ball Super decks with me.
Oh my god! No, we're not talking Dragon Ball fucking Super. I'm done.
I might start a Dragon Ball Super podcast
go
now,
for it,
because that game's fuking good.
Keep that under the 3 Man Meta banner. Just whack out some Dragon Ball Super videos.
Right, I will do. By the way, I've got Sam and Gameslayer into Dragon Ball Super.
Anyone who's interested, you can go watch that video that Leighton will inevitably make because he always talks about that fucking game.
Well, when Danny and James said, I never watched that shit. I was like, what? Who hasn't watched Dragon Ball? Seriously, Dragon Ball Z is like, it's the gateway like manga. It's like when you get into music when you're a little grebo, you listen to fucking Nirvana. And then you listen to so many other bands after that. When you start getting into anime.
The only acceptable weeby shit is Studio Ghibli.
Is that even weeby though? That's just kind of like.
Yeah, Studio Ghibli is weeby as fuck.
That's more like airy fairy.
Nah, it's pretty weeby. It's definitely weeby.
And Bleach is far more weeby.
Okay, I'll agree. Anyway,
so
I'm going to stop you talking about your weeby shit.
Yeah.
I'm going to talk about the most important day, which was the day I played, day 1C.
Oh, no one cares.
Yeah, so round 1 was a super tough game for me, because I had to win UK Nationals to get a bye round 1. So I had to go 12-2 8 months ago to win round one at Worlds, and it was hard. It wasn't. It was dead easy, and I smashed it. So I won round one because I had a bye. So I was feeling good. Round two, it was against Sabine fucking Yoda, and I was real sad because Sabine against Stairs is horrendous.
Stop calling it.
And
Can we just PSA? Stairs is such a fucking shit name for that deck. Is it because it
but
steps up? Is that the idea? It steps up.
no, everyone keeps getting it wrong, and I don't remember why. And if you do go to the Hyperloops article after Mike, Mike, yeah, Mike won his regional, came second in the regional that he played it. It's a little paragraph at the bottom, and it's something to do with a band and something. It's nothing to do with it stepping or ramping or anything.
Because I was talking to people around, they're like, "Oh yeah, man, I played against Stairs," and I was like, "What? What deck?"
Yeah,
Sorry, just
yeah.
fucking say the names of the characters, yeah?
Rayala, fine.
Yeah.
Playing Rayala against Yoda Sabine, I was like, this feels real bad, but it'll be fine. Tank up, stick some upgrades on Ray. Round two, running interference. I'm like, okay, cool. Does Sabine shenanigans, never tells me the odds. Flips all his dice to 10 damage and one shot Ayla. And I was like, sweet. The game was going well, and yeah, one of my characters gets one shot. But Ray's still pretty healthy. She's only taking like 2 damage because I kept just picking so many shields on her. So round three, gets a beam to 9 or 10 damage, and he impersonates and sticks 8 onto Yoda and basically fully heals Sabine down to like 1 or 2 damage. So I synchronicity Yoda to kill him, and then plink a little bit more damage onto Sabine. Round four happens, roll out, cram a load more damage, gets Sabine to like 3 health left, and then he running interferences, never tells me the odds, and one shots Ray.
Lovely.
What can you do? He didn't play any second chances, so I guess that was the highlight of my game. But yeah, he just killed both my characters by never telling me the odds, and I could mitigate it, and I just one shot my 2 characters. It felt
Star Wars Destiny, a game of skill.
real good. So then, so I was 1-1, feeling a bit sad, and then I played against Qui-Gon Yoda, which I took 4 damage tokens the whole game, and that was because I had 2 synchronicities played against me. The rest of the game, all the damage was absorbed by shields. Needless to say, I won that game. So go 2-1, feeling good. Then my next game was against Boba's sister, which when you're playing Rayala, I think is probably 70% in your favor if you kill Boba first. So I draw up my hand, got no upgrades, and I'm like, well, I need to get some fucking upgrades. So I keep a force misdirection, chuck 4 cards back, draw 4 more cards, no upgrades. I was like, well, motherfucker. So he takes his battlefield, so I stick the shields on Ray, start plinking damage at Boba, discard my whole hand at the end of the round, draw 5 new cards. No upgrades round 2. I was like, oh, okay, I see where this is going. So I carry on, plinking damage on Boba, getting to probably about 3 health left at the end of round 2. And my guys are taking considerable damage, but not crazy amounts. Like it's definitely done more than like the 9 I'd done to him. I'd probably taken about 14, but both my guys were still alive. Round 3, finally managed to pull a Shoto. I roll out Ray and hit 1 melee damage, and +1 melee damage. So I resolve the 2 to kill Boba, and then I just look at him and go, it'd be really great right now if I had a guard, because he had a sister die showing 2 melee. No, sorry, showing a shield, a Seeker Droid showing a focus, a Maul Saber showing a +4, and an Heirloom Saber, an Ancient Saber showing us +3. So it was by saying it'd be great if I had the guard right now was going to be like don't you get fucking greedy and flip that sister to a 2 and then deal like fucking 8 damage to me, or however much that is. But then I didn't. But that's what I wanted him to do. So I instantly went afterwards. It'd be a good thing if I bullshit about having guard just then, wouldn't it? And he kind of just sits there for like 20 seconds, and he flips his sister to 2 melee, and I just guard it away. And the look on his face was priceless. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I bet you did. That card, man.
Totally in his head
Guard.
at that point, and that's what I live for, right? Getting in people's heads when I'm playing Destiny and making them play like shit.
I really wish there was a villain equivalent to guard, but there isn't.
Yeah. But not drawing any upgrades till round 3. Ayala ends up dying. Ray's just got too much damage on her, and I'm about 4 damage short when I die from winning the game. So if I just got 1 upgrade 1 round earlier, it probably would have been enough for me to pull out the win. But man, when you're just rolling 4 dice for 2 rounds and then you get a 5th dice for round 3, it wasn't good. So I lost that game and dropped down. Spent my lunch, instead of rushing out to a pizza place because everyone else was at the Mall of America, I sat out on the grass and ate some carrots and crackers with the European Gauntlet guys.
Oh yeah, that's when Mike. That's when we went for lunch with Double Blanks guys again and Mike, and then we were like, Mike, can you drive me and Sam to Mall of America, please? Because we did we hung out in the morning for a bit, did like a pod. And then that's when me and Sam were like, we should probably go and see America, like, let's go to the Mall of America, which is insane. Mall of America is mental. It's got a bloody theme park in the mall.
Yeah, it's weird.
And
so weird.
Little things. You're like, oh, let's go to this shop, and calculates your route for you. It's like Google Maps to get to a different shop. And no one sold Dragon Ball Super, which pissed me off.
Because it's a shit game. Shit.
It's better than Destiny, mate. Better than Destiny.
Big words.
Well, you think Legion's better than Destiny, so we're all on the newness right now.
Well, that's true. So I don't remember what I played next, but I won. Maybe it was a mill deck. I feel like it was a mill deck. It was a mill deck. I re-rolled maybe twice. I used to be really aggressive against Mill, but Mill's got so many good cards now that you can't discard so aggressively against it.
And then they play fallback and you cry.
So yeah. So my general rule of thumb is you're allowed to discard twice during the game, maybe 3 times if you do one early, but you have to re-roll at least 4 dice.
Yeah.
That is my re-roll rules for Mill. It was a super close game, but it got to the point where I had an ancient looping, and you just couldn't snag it from me. I also really want to say at least 3 of my games went to time, and then we won that round through the course of Worlds as well. My games were so long. So beat Mill, did exactly what Leighton and Sam had done, the 2 days before, and been 2-2 before lunch, have to win your next 2 games. So I was feeling good that I just managed to win the one against Mill. Last round comes up, I sit down, guy comes over, and he is the only Palpatine in the field. And I was real sad because fuck me, does Palpatine do disgusting things. Because I just don't have the health pool, and I can't. The removal's real iffy because I got to roll out ahead of him, but then he's just going to activate pretty much first action every round, and he's going to have claimed from the round before because he's only got 1 character. It's not good. So I mulligan, keep some shit, and I have a guard and 2 force misdirects in my opening hand, and a saber or something. So I play all my shit. I overconfidence him, basically neutralize Palpatine's dice for the first 2 rounds and just take a little bit of splash damage where he'll resolve like a discard, and I've taken a bit. I was feeling really good, but I probably spent maybe 5 removal cards to neutralize Palpatine because he had resilience and was rolling shit back in and all that good stuff. So round 3, he rolls out and hits double 3, and I've got no removal. So I'm like, well, it was going to happen. It feels bad. I'm taking 10 damage, but I hadn't taken any damage really up until this point. So he hits a 6, I splash, and blah, blah, blah. Ray and Ayla are still alive. I roll out. Um, he's played 2 Indomitables. I didn't manage to get a light bow out. So by the end of round 3, I put 5 damage on him, and I'm on probably about half health. So I'm probably in about the 11 to 13 range. Round 4, he rolls out, hits double 3 again, kills Ray. Splash damage goes on Ayala. She's got 2 health left. Ayala, I did manage to play a light bow on her the round before, actually, and then the heirloom saber that was on Ray redeployed over. Palpatine's, done. All his dice are resolved, so I play a second light bow on Ayala. I roll her out, and I took a photo, and this was probably the most BM thing I've ever done is take this photo. But I rolled her out, and I rolled that, which is a bit backwards. But that is a light bow special, a 2 indirect, a 2 melee, a 1 discard, and a 3 melee on heirloom saber.
So yeah, I've got a picture of what my average rollout was the whole event. As you can see there, we have 2
That
boba blanks. The shield
is
on.
not
This is
an
this
average
this is what
rollout.
I did. I'm not even exaggerating here when I say this is what I did. 90% of worlds, and this is after rerolls as well. So you can imagine how good it was the first time I rolled those
Yeah,
dice.
yeah. So I just kind of went, okay, well, let's add this up. So that's 6, 10. Oh, he's got 10 health left. Oh, he's got a shield, motherfucker. Okay. So I've got 4 cards left in hand. I discard to reroll on that light bow, and on my second to last reroll, I managed to actually catch one of the 50% damage sides on my fucking dice. And yeah, I did 13 damage to him and won the game.
Of course.
Destiny.
Destiny. Yeah.
I also want to point out, though, I did 13 damage to him, but that round he did 10, and then the round before he had done 10 to me. So fuck that guy.
Well, we were saying this last
You
night
can
we were
god
playing.
roll. I can god roll. I've got more health.
Palpatine's scary. I think we're going to see a lot of Palpatine at not national, sorry, at Europeans.
Euros. Yeah, he is. Palpatine is good. I hope Kylo is enough. Kylo winning worlds is enough to scare him out of the mare a bit.
Yeah.
So that night we ended up going to a sausage place.
Oh yeah,
Wanks.
probably the best food I had all time because
Was it good? Was it
I
good?
did enjoy a lot of the food.
I had a lot of good food. But yeah, I had a spicy rabbit sausage.
My lips just felt
It's good.
so dry. I felt like I was literally like a
Oh
slug
yeah,
that had salt poured on it, and
yeah,
and I didn't have I am a massive dessert fan. So when me and my wife we go out for meals, if I go out with my family, we're all the same. We never really have starters. We always have a main and a dessert. And I didn't have a
yeah,
dessert at any place because I just like I don't really drink a lot of like drinks other than water, and so
yeah,
I like a Coke every now and again, but I just felt like I was having so much salt and sugar in like the sauces.
yeah,
I just didn't need any. I was just really conscious I was going to get diabetes, especially when like my breakfast options at my motel were donuts, waffles,
yeah,
cereal, which is like 85% sugar.
yeah. Yeah, some Fruit Loops and they were disgusting.
Yes, yeah, I
Awful.
like when I look at a cereal that's bright blue and yellow and that,
Yeah.
like
Nah. My breakfasts were amazing. I had like grilled cheese sandwiches, pancakes, waffles,
I enjoyed the waffles,
all
but
these
yeah,
breakfasts, all this excellent
but the
food.
place, but yeah, this the Wiener the Wurst place was
Yeah.
definitely that was a cool place. They had the cool little games. We were playing stupid little
Yeah, you
stupid
plan that, like throw the bags into the hole
yeah, and the little hook, you have
and
to
the
throw
hook,
that was
which D House managed to use the force and was the first person to manage to get the hoop on the hook.
yeah. So that was cool. And
Yeah.
that's when Sam got in the boot of the car and broke the law.
Yeah, I've got a photo of that. That's American police. Make sure you arrest this man. Look at that. Look at that. Illegalness right there.
Illegalness. Bit of Grand Theft Auto right there. Well,
Yeah.
it's not Grand Theft Auto, but you know what I mean. Um, yeah, it was.
And then afterwards, we went back to the FFG Game Centre and we played Resistance, One Night Resistance.
Oh, that's right. The X-wing what final was on.
Yeah, everything's final in the background. We're sat in the corner just playing.
And I kind of had an eye on it, but it was a really slow start. And then we played a few games, and then is that when Chris and Kanan then left to go to the jacuzzi or whatever, and then we played like another game. That was quite fun.
Yeah.
And I stayed and watched the X-wing final, which was very emotional and very good. The UK brought it home for the final and last ever X-wing 1.0 final.
Yeah.
And then we had day 2. Was that right? Yeah.
Day 2.
So I'll tell my day 2 stories because my day 2 stories are tragic.
So it's going to be really short. Spoiler alert.
So I was like, I've made it to day 2. If I win 2 games, maybe even if I win 3 games, I can win the map. I can do this. I'm good at cards. So I sit up. So I sit down and I see a Boba Phasma deck, and I've been playing against Mike. Mike was playing Boba Phasma, and I felt, I got a good matchup against it. I can play well against it. So I win the battlefield roll off. I take my battlefield. I go first. I play a friends in low places. Look at his hand. He's got 4 weapons and a bait and switch. So I'm like, oh boy, get rid of that bait and switch. You aren't going to be touching my dice at all. I'm going to go for maximum damage. I had like a vibro, sound the alarm, and other cards I can't remember. Anyway, so he plays the X8 Night Sniper on his Phasma, rolls in Phasma, hits the 3-for-1 on the Night Sniper, special. So okay, he can't resolve that 3-for-1 because he hasn't got a truce or nothing like that, and he hasn't got a resource showing. But that's still 4 damage. That's okay. That's not bad. I'll sit this Vibro and Boba and get him out. Hopefully, I'll hit a special and I'll capitalize on that 3-for-1, and I'll do some damage to Phasma. As I was saying to the guys last night, you should always kill Phasma first in that matchup because it turns off the TAC-Mac. It stops tactical mastery, and tactical mastery towards the end of the game wins you games. So I have to get that. So I roll in Boba, and I just hit shit. I think I hit like Disrupt. I mean, I've got 4 Boba dice. I think I am actually going to start using my other Boba dice because they just Disrupt all the time and shield and discard on the Vibro garbage. So he activates his Boba. Special. All right. One of my characters is dead because you can just resolve specials and go.
That is why Sound the Alarm is fucking garbage.
3 from Boba. Oh, that's 6. 3 from Phasma. 12 damage. So I'm like, well, I need to sound the alarm, this 3-for-1, and pray it goes on the blank or a 1 side. I think I got it down to I think I changed it to like the black side he can just resolve to give him just as much damage. He doesn't kill a character, but he smacks my Boba quite hard. We start round 2. He rolls out Phasma. He puts another ambush gun on Phasma and just hits guns on all 4 of his dice. Yeah. So I was just like, sweet, you win. You better win the whole event now with rolls like that. So that was a nice loss. Then played against Ayala Ray, which I feel like is not quite a 64. From playing against Danny, I felt it was more of a 50-50 match. I mean, they've got crazy blowouts with the with guard and force misdirect. But if you can get ahead of them, then you haven't got to worry about that. So I was always making sure I was getting ahead. And the only real play mistake I can really pinpoint out of the whole world, out of all my games, where I beat myself, was where I had 3 damage showing. He had 3 cards in his hand, and I was like, oh, I'm worried about removal. I'm just going to resolve my dice instead of resolving my close quarters assault that I had in my hand. Yeah. So if I had a close quarters assault, I'd have fucking emptied his hand, and then he would have had no rerolls, and I wouldn't have taken the 6 damage I took that round. So I lost because I'm a fucking idiot. Yeah. So I then get into the final round, and I'm like, right, I can't scrub out, man. I can't come all this way and finish the whole event on 4-5. I've got to go. Yeah. I've got to go, even.
Got to get that positive win rate, right?
And Game Slayer sits down next to me, and his opponent just goes, yeah, mate, I don't want to play. You win. I think, fuck you.
Give him that was a guy I beat in round 1.
Yeah, so I was like, oh, right. So I sit up against a Yoda Hondo. And I'm like, okay, it's a rough match, but I reckon I'll be all right. So I've gone through both his second chances, both his hyperspace jumps, both his... we've gone through Entangle, and I've gone through both easy pickings. And I've got his Hondo down to 5. I roll out, bam, 6 damage. I'm like, okay, here we go. He can't have much removal left, right? He can't have much left. He's got like, my deck's empty. His deck's empty. He's got 3 cards in hand, and he's sitting there. He's really thinking, what should I play? Should I do this? And I almost say, mate, if you've got it, fucking play it. If not, you've got nothing, and I've won, right? You know, this is we're playing for pride really here, but I'm a bit tilted from my mistake the round before, and this guy god rolling me the round before that. And then he goes, right, I'll play reversal. I'm like, for fuck's sake, like who takes 10 minutes to decide to play reversal, and who fucking plays reversal in that deck?
In 2018 reversal.
I'm just like, oh my god. So he reversed obviously the 4-for-1. And then I have to heal, but and he puts me to 3 health left, and he's got those 2 cards left to re-roll the 1 Hondo dice left, and of course he hits the special and gets the win. So I was like, oh, okay, feels bad, but do you know what? My goal was making the day 2. I made it today.
And you played all the rounds in day 2, right?
Like I played, yeah, exactly. Like some people would have dropped after losing 2, but I was like, no, I want like the fucking tool next to me dropped. So I'm like, I'm gonna play my games, and because I've come all this way, and I'm not feeling too salty, but that did tip me over the edge a little bit. And GameStay was sitting watching me, like watching the game, and even he was just like, man, like you played that right. Like there was a round before where I had a couple of dice out. He had done all this stuff. I could have discarded to reroll. It was only like a sister die. I think it was like a sister and an ancient. So I could have rerolled them, but I wouldn't have got. He had 5. No, he had 6 health left or something. But anyway, whatever happened was, I think he had 5, but I would have to get exactly the 2 and exactly the +3 to go for the win on 2 die, and I didn't want to take the risk, and I thought it'd be better to take the early claim, go ahead, get the dice
and then
out.
Dice him out, right?
Dice him out, which is what I had done, but he paid reversal. So you know, it is what it is. But that's the end. So that's the end of my world's journey, I guess.
So what was your final placement?
So what I then did when we did that, you win. I then wrote drop next to on the end of mine. So when it came through, it put me 100th. I don't know whether it put me 100th because I dropped, or if it just also calculated strength of schedule. But it doesn't matter. Like I made it to day 2. I beat a lot of good people. I only can really pinpoint one misplay, and I had fun. That's the main thing. I had fun. I got the only prize you would get from day 2 was getting the mat, and although it is a nice mat, I think I'm going to actually like I've got my 3 character mat that I love, but I never use. So I never use 3 characters. I think I'm going to make my own 2 character mat version, and just fucking play that because I like mats with their little zones. And I wasn't going to buy the Darth Vader mat that they had for 90 tickets because everyone's like, oh, this mat's so nice, but it's just got Palpatine in the back going, excuse me, Darth Vader, can you? He looks really fucking stupid. It just had Vader and Mustafar. Yeah. Is it Mustafar? Yeah, Mustafar. And his temple in the back. I'd be like, yeah, that's a cool mat, but the Palpatine in it, looking like a little creepy pedo in the back. Kind of little not to say Jeremy Beadle. Jeremy Beadle wasn't a pedo. Jim will fix it. Jimmy Savile in the background.
Jimmy Savile, there you go.
That's the one. That's the pedo I'm looking for. These are not the pedos you're looking for. But Danny, so you can now bore everyone with your.
So the one thing I was concerned about on day 2 was playing good players, though that when I beat them, they would then go 2-1.
Yeah.
Round 1, I play against Mill, and it was Recon, Wookiee Warrior, Ayala. And I was like,
what?
Maybe my plan isn't going to happen.
Just remind me again of what characters that was.
General Recon, single die. Wookiee Warrior, single die. Ayala, single die.
I can only think that person went 2-0 round 1, day 1, and then somehow won 4 games against the worst people that were there.
It was a good mill, pretty much. So normally I look at that deck and go, Wookiee Warrior, he's gonna die because easy pickings and garbage shoot are bastard cards, and I don't like them. So I was gonna do that. I roll out, hit double melee, double 2 melee on Ayala, and I was like, ooh, my man. And then get easy pickings, and I was like, ah, my man. So remove them, roll out Ray, and hit with an Ancient Saber and hit 2 on Ray, 2 on Ray, plus 3 on Ancient Lightsaber. And I was like, yeah, my man. He didn't have removal this time, so I was like, oh, do I kill Wookiee Warrior now that I've been easy pickings once? And I decided not. So I slammed like 7 damage into a Recon. He then discards his garbage chute later that round for a reroll. And I was like, yeah, definitely not killing Wookiee Warrior now. So game basically progresses in a state of I just spam my board with upgrades. And then like 2 rounds later, he plays full back and I go down to just an Ancient. And I beat him. It felt good. It was close-ish, but I wasn't worried. Like all mill games, it was almost there, but didn't have enough to actually pull out a win. So then my next game was against a looper who was playing the same list that Honestly Sarcastic was playing, his vehicle gun hybrid thing. So sit down, set up, start playing, and it's a deck that I had never played before, I hadn't seen before, until obviously they were playing it at Worlds 2 days beforehand. He's actually playing the same day as me, so yeah, the day before. And I didn't look into how to play against the deck or anything. I just winged it. Just winged it. So just playing along, and I know that basically that it's going to spam dice together. It's got a lot of plus sides, and it finds those key black dice, and it just kind of goes nuts. So I'm just waiting for him to get the black sides to line up with his plus sides, and I'm removing the black dice. And there's just one point where I was just sat trying to work out what dice I should guard. And I must have only been about 30 or 40 seconds, which maybe is a long time for me to kind of just sit there staring at my hand, working out which dice I should remove. But he just kind of like does like a little like, stop fucking slow and playing me, you prick, hurry up. And I was like, whoa. He didn't actually say that. He said about it nicely, but the tone was very much, hurry the fuck up. So I did. I hurried the fuck up, I guess, and I fucking smashed it.
Activation in Dragon Ball Super.
What? That's a shit game. Definitely a shit game. So I managed to like discard rally aids and stuff, and he never got any vehicles out. He got like 1 airspeeder, a Y-wing, and then like a holdout blaster. And I just went along the line, and it ended up with rookie pilot, an airspeeder, and a Y-wing. I had shit tons of removal. The action before I killed him, he did like 7 damage to Ray, which would have put his total damage at about 11. And then I won the game. So I probably actually took about 4 or 5 damage throughout the course of the game through shield generation that I had. So feeling really confident. And thinking, well, maybe if this guy does well, he obviously won his first game, so if he wins his last game, my strength schedule will still be strong, and maybe I can make top 16. So I bump into the guy who I played round 1, and he's like, nah, man, lost game 2. I'm going to go to my opponent on the 3rd one, and if it's a matchup I don't like, I'm just going to concede. Sorry. And I was like, no, play it, you prick. And he walked up to Game Slayer and went, nah, man, I don't want to play. And he conceded. So that felt good. So then last game, go over to my table, and the name looked familiar. And I just see little Isaac. I think he's about 12, and he's like a New York regional winner, and then like top 4s at GQs casually. And I don't know if anyone knows my record against playing children or people under about the age of 15, but I've never beaten one in a tournament before. Always lost. I've probably played about 3 or 4 under 15s in tournaments. I've lost every single one of those games over the last year plus, year 15 months. So I was a little bit triggered that I had to play the Destroyer. Um, and he was playing Yoda Hondo, and he is by far the best Yoda Hondo player I've ever played against. Just the way he was chaining his dice and what he was using his cunning to. He did a lot of Yoda cunning specials, which allowed him to flip Hondos into discards before he could then like double hit me with Hondo stuff. But I had this really stupid play where I had 2 resources. Ayala just took 3 damage and died because I was triggered. And was just, yeah, not in a good place. Backpedal it a little bit. When I sat down and I look at the score sheet when it comes round, he's 1 loss behind me. So I assume that I'm on the worst strength of schedule of the, what would have been at that time, 6 and 2s. So even if I win this game, it's not going to put me in the top 16, which was my goal. Because I was pretty much all like guaranteed to 32. Well, I was guaranteed 32 if I won, but I really wanted top 16 if I won. Which, if you read an article that Eric did for the Hyperloops, it was basically impossible for a 4 and 2 to hit top 16, and the highest finisher for 4 and 2 was 20th. So that felt bad. So yeah, I have a huge misplay. Ayala dies, and afterwards I'm just like, why the fuck did I let Ayala die? And he was just like, yeah, I don't know why you did either. And he manages to keep tanking his Yoda. Yoda lived for about 2 rounds longer than he fucking should have. But he just kept getting shields on it, kept getting Force Illusions, kept healing with Lone Operative. Yeah, it gets about 2 more rounds out of Yoda than he should have. And we end up going really long. The game went to time in the end, but it got to the point where I had run out of cards in hand and the deck, and I was like, I just like I've got nothing. All my ancients are in my discard, and I discarded to reroll to try and win the game because I just didn't see another option. I rerolled, didn't hit the damage, and stuck my hand out and went, well played. Which I'm sure you've heard the story because your Destiny and Double Blanks have both spoken about this. And he just goes, no, you can claim and put an Ancient Lightsaber from your discard on top of your deck. Because he had played a hyperspace jump and swapped my battlefield to his, which I didn't really think about as an option, because who plays Starship Graveyard in 2018? Which obviously he does, so he can loot like second chances and stuff. But I was just like, what? Why have you told me that? He's like, well, I just want to see how this match goes. And he was like, well, it's for me, it's not. I'm unlikely to hit 32, so I just want to kind of see how this game goes. And it just kind of blew me away for a second. It's like, so I've not conceded. And he's like, no. So I was like, oh, okay, I'll claim and put an Ancient Lightsaber to the top of my deck. We then like slug it out for like another 3 rounds or something, where he ends up with like Second Chance, Light Bow, and something else. The Cunning, I think. Yeah, and Cunning. And I've just got double Shoto and an Ancient that I'm looping every round. So I'm activating, gaining shields, pinging damage. He's healing with like special chaining healing. I'm healing with my Ancient, and we're just stuck in this loop. He eventually has to override his Light Bow for a Second Chance, which then kills all of his damage output because I'm sitting on like 12 resources that I'm just not spending every round, because I've got double binds out by this point, so I'm just double binding every round to play my Ancient Lightsaber. The game hits time. I'm like, well, so it's either I heal and claim to give me 2 cards in my deck, and then you have to discard to reroll, but you can't do any damage to kill me because I can just pay you off. And if you claim now, then you can put a card at the top of your deck, but then I can like just deal damage and kill you. Like I'll just I've got enough damage here. I haven't taken that much damage, so I win the game. So it's just a really weird situation where, like, when he hyperspace jumped, if he hadn't switched to graveyard, he probably would have won because I couldn't have recurred my ancient lightsaber, and then just has the fucking balls to be like, no man, you should do that.
Here he
Do
is,
it.
the people's champ. I'll obviously pop a
The people's champ.
pop a
Um,
image of this.
yeah, you've got the photo, right?
Yeah. I'll put it on the thingy, but I will I'll make sure
Oh yeah.
that
If you go to like your Destiny as well, he ended up being given the playmat from the streaming table that Maz won for coming second, which was super generous of those guys, and he did accept the mat as well,
Oh,
which
good.
it would have actually killed me if he went, "Nah, man, I don't want your mat." I would have killed me. But I also so I went to go pick up my playmat after like celebrating the fact that I managed to hit 26th overall. And I get my mat and I walk over to Leighton and he's like, "You get that kid to sign your fucking mat." And I'm like, "Don't worry, man. I'm gonna go do it." He's like, he sat over there and I'm like, "I'm off." So I just checked the photo up. But that is Isaac's signature. He will be at some
100%.
point Destiny World Champion if he sticks to the game, right? He's so good for like a 12-year-old. It's incredible. And just the sportsmanship of being like, no man, what the fuck are you doing? Come on. Because like people know who I am, UK national champ and all that good stuff. Like most 12-year-olds would have been like, I'd be a national champion. Woo. But he's like, no man, I don't want to be like some scrub. I wanna have a fucking good game of Destiny.
Yeah.
So couldn't have won the map without you, Isaac, or my final position. And I don't know if you've listened to Discard to Reroll where they spoke about something, Leighton, but basically someone played a card but didn't pay the resources for it.
Right.
Jeremy came over and went, "Oh, if he hasn't paid the resources for it, then he hasn't played the card. He gets the card back to his hand and can do another action."
Really?
So there's long discussion about, well, what is it? At what point do you declaring your action? Do you actually take your action? And by rule of Jeremy, it's when you pay for the card. If you're playing a card, that's when the
So what's the order? Should it be you pay the
so
resource
so
cost
you
first
you
and
say that
then
if you say you're going to play the card, you pay the resource cost, and then the card takes effect.
you reveal it, sort of thing? Yeah.
Yes.
Because similarly,
Just
sorry to
saying.
bring it up, but in Dragon Ball Super it stipulates you are supposed to tap your resources first,
Yeah.
right? Then you produce the card from your hand.
We'll say that is the rule because I haven't
that
actually.
stops people from from playing card and like, oh, I forgot to pay for it.
So that might be the rule in Destiny. I haven't actually checked the ordering, right? But even if that's the case, you can just say that you're going to play this card, and he had it, and he had put the card in his discard pile, but hadn't let go of it.
Right.
But just because he hadn't paid the resources, got to take it back and do another action. And Chris was like, well, like in my situation where I'm like, good game, Isaac, well played, and I concede, and he just goes, nah. Like, at what point, like, should I have just been like, no, man, I'm out, I concede? Or, was I a dick for taking his suggestion and carry on playing the game? That's the only thing that makes
had you conceded? Had that actually been it? That was the concession. Yeah, he can't. He can't change.
Yeah, but regardless at that point, like, even if we both agreed, could that game carried on? But I'm not going to call the judge and ask that question because
Judge, I conceded, but my opponent won't let me concede.
yeah, my opponent won't let me
have
concede.
I conceded?
And he's told me how to carry on the game, and over the course of the next 5 rounds, I beat him.
Yeah. Have I actually conceded?
Have I actually conceded? So it was just an interesting side subject about kind of like playment of cards and stuff. But basically, to summarize, 26th score would have been really nice to hit top 16. I knew I could have played with any of the guys who made it up there. I feel like maybe top 16 was just a bit brutal for like 133 players. Or we should have done an extra round of Swiss.
Well, when the whole
Either or.
thing they said like your strength of schedule from day one doesn't carry over, but then it did.
Yeah,
It
yeah, second tiebreaker or
so it just it's, yeah I don't know that
yeah. So they should have even done a top 32 or done an extra round of Swiss. Like we just need one extra round on either side of the tournament. I think that would have just sort of just made the inclusivity of letting the 4 and 2s go through actually have a chance at becoming world champion. But I'll take the playmat, and I had an absolutely fucking blast. I'm gonna go next year if I can. I'm gonna wait until nationals to see if I can just win that again, so I get another free trip, because free trips to worlds, guys. Go win your nationals. Go to your nationals so there's enough players so someone can win a free trip. It's really good.
yeah I'm gutted because I'm not going to Euros. I can't. I spoke to Corey about it today. Got too many fucking
Uh,
things I need to spend money on, so I can't go. And then I can't go to nationals. I have a buy for, but I can't go because
yeah,
it's our wedding anniversary / her
but
birthday, and
I'm,
also very close
I
to it and
might,
everything.
depending on flights, go to Madrid and stay with Miguel, the Spanish champ. So maybe you can survive the foghorn, and you can use your national by there after your kid's born, and be like, "See you, kid. I'm off to win big. See."
Yeah, maybe we'll see. I mean, I think for me, at least for a little while, I think I'll still go to like regionals that are close, but I think the big tournaments that require me to have to stay overnight, I think I'm gonna have to knock on the head for a little while. I'm afraid.
Old man, real life, all
Yeah,
that stuff. You're
well,
like little D. You're gonna be like D House, right? You got a kid. Stop making podcasts. Went to Worlds though and got top 8. So
exactly. I just do what D House does. Do not play the
yeah,
game for a while, then go to a big event and fucking smash it. You know, the
yeah.
power of the dad.
Power of dad.
Exactly. That's what. So I just have to just harness that. But yeah, I mean, like, out of everything, playing Destiny was the low point of the trip. Like, even traveling was better because I got to watch films.
Uh,
But just hanging out with everyone, being there, being in the FFG place was cool because I've been playing FFG games for a long time, since like 2012/13, and seeing them on streams. To be there was really surreal. I spoke to Jeremy, kind of told Jeremy
yeah,
outright he needs to change ambush.
yeah. And he
So
was like, "Shut up."
yeah, I mean, I'm fairly sure like they've considered it. There's no fucking way they haven't considered it, right? Like,
No, no. He definitely said like 4 months ago during a Chance Cube interview that Sabine's on the watch list,
well, the
and
thing is,
obviously just
she's on the watch list, but you don't have to change her text at all. That's the whole point. That's like what they did with FN. They changed FN by changing a game mechanic. You can change
yeah,
Sabine and make Sabine work as intended by changing a game mechanic, i.e., ambush only works when you play it from your hand. It doesn't work when a card is recurred from discard pile.
yeah,
Because
yeah, yeah, yeah.
her and IG88 are currently the only two characters that can play a card
And IG is
drop
wank.
from the drop zone. And with
Yeah,
IG88, you have to resolve a dice to then play it, so you can't even roll it in
yeah,
anyway. So it's
yeah,
not so it wasn't a problem for him. And also with the way Sabine is printed at the moment, it does mean that they can't make any ambush weapons that are green. Sorry, not green. It's not fucking green.
green,
Yellow
yellow.
or grey. There can't be a
Yep,
grey ambush, even if it's a stick. Even if it's a stick weapon, like it
yeah.
can't. It can't. It can't.
Just goes in the deck, right? It's going to replace something because it'll be better or slightly better, or yeah, very good.
So
Um, yeah, I also after Worlds went to Simon Expo and got to play a board game with Eric Lang. If any of you board gamers out there know who Eric Lang is, you fucking should, because he's god.
what have he
Got to play
made?
Rising Sun with him. He's made games like the Star Wars LCG, first edition Game of Thrones LCG.
Which
Uh,
basically is second edition. They just tweaked a few bits.
yeah, which is basically second edition. He just tweaked a few bits. He designed Blood Rage, Rising Sun, Game of Thrones miniatures game,
Oh, has your
loads of shit.
has your Game of Thrones miniatures game come? Yeah.
No, it got delayed on Kickstarter. It is 2 months out, but I got to play it the weekend, and it was amazingly good fun, and I can't wait for it to come out.
Cool. If
Um,
anyone wants to buy a set of battle droids,
yeah, I've sold all my stuff. Oh no, I've got a
take
set
it
of
out.
battle droids for sale as well. If you're American and you want to buy a set of battle droids, contact Honestly Sarcastic for the crossover amalgamation of the we're going to call it the hyper meta battle droid set, exclusively owned by both me and Honestly Sarcastic.
All right. Well, where's my battle? One thing I could have shown is I've got my battle droids. I got a set of my battle droids. I got each
Yeah.
one signed by one of the content creators, and I said to them basically like, when I finally do play these, if I roll out that battle droid, he doesn't hit indirect. I'm sending you some shit online because he's not pulling his weight.
You got to play the battle droids, right? We'll get the
I
deck
actually only
together.
own 2 of the dice, so
I've got 3 battle droid dice.
There we go.
We'll get the deck together.
We can
And
achieve
we'll
the
do
dream.
it.
We might need 6 because I might be playing that set of Islamic
No,
cards.
you don't got any money. Don't be a jerk.
Yeah, I know. Well, maybe when I play, I was very tempted last night to make Finn and Anakin and play my.
Nope, stop it. Stop being bad. It's not good. Stop it.
You know,
You're making my brain and face hurt.
it's a fun deck for me to play. I have
No,
fun playing that deck, and that's the most important thing.
yes.
But yeah, not going to Euros. Really gutted about that. I would have probably played.
I'm going to Euros. Come say hi.
I would have played Kylo Anakin if I would have gone. Because
Yeah.
I'm really annoyed at myself that I didn't fucking play that deck more and then start to take it to Worlds, because I played Emo Kids loads, and I even played Emo Kids 2.0, which was Kylo 2, Darth Vader 2, but only 1 dice of Darth Vader, and had fun with that.
I was reading Edwin Chan's battle report on the Hyperloops today, and he said he only hit a rainbow deck once the whole weekend.
Yeah, that was in his day one. I read it as well when I was waiting to get my bonds chopped. For those to understand, that is, I got a haircut today.
Which was super interesting. But I mean, the winner of Worlds, and I said it before, was always going to be the person who had the best matchup lineup throughout those whatever 12 rounds it was. And if if Chan had have been on Maz's side and had to play against Honestly Sarcastic's Rainbow Vehicles, it's a much harder matchup than the Sabine Ezra was, and we could have seen a Hyperloops finals, right? Quite easily if those 2 matchups were just flipped around. So because obviously Stairs struggles against Sabine as well. So super interesting, great event. I love meeting everyone. I'm going to try and come back next year. I invite them all to Euros, but they're scared, right? The European meta is strong.
Strong.
We're more like tight knit. Like over there, you've got like the loopers and the artillery crew. In Europe, we're just like
we have our gauntlet that I invited you to, but then I don't post on it.
Yeah. I know they have been talking about kind of opening it up a bit. So I think it's something similar to kind of like what the Hyperloops have got, where they've got like the Hyperloops team, and then they've got like the Hyperloops community team. So I think they're looking at maybe opening it up. So I would keep an eye on anything Your Destiny. They've got, on the subject of Your Destiny today as well, they've done out challenges where you can play. At the moment, it's either me, Mads, or Tobias, I want to say.
Yeah,
I have got the post.
Yes, Tobias.
It is Tobias, yeah. So you can challenge one of us, and then a challenger is randomly selected, and we'll play on TTS in a best of 3. Klaus will do the commentary and all that good stuff. If you haven't checked out their YouTube videos, they're super good, super informative, and I get to play and smash people a lot in them. So if you're a fan of me, I'm there, I guess. Also, I checked the Fantasy League earlier, and I earned like 11 points for the 4 people that picked me on the Fantasy League. So those 4 people,
one being Steve,
you're welcome.
Yeah.
And another one being Ian. Yeah.
Oh, so 2 people from home. So 2 random people picked you. That's pretty cool. I haven't looked at if anyone picked me other than Steve.
No, you didn't get picked. I checked. Nor did Sam.
Really?
Yeah.
Sad.
It's because you're not as vocal. Who even knows who Sam Miles is? Nobody, right?
Well, that's the thing. Like, yeah, like no one knew who Sam was. He was getting
You
quite annoyed.
need a platform. every single time you're on that platform, you need to get your fucking trophies out. You need to show them your fucking malls map. And tell people how good you are, and that's how people know who you are.
Or you just call them fucking idiots. That's what I tend to do.
Or just call them fucking. I mean, I definitely call some people idiots.
Do you know what? Tell you what I was really gutted about. I was gutted I didn't get to meet CJ Wren.
Oh man.
I'd have loved to.
Flip those dice again. I'm gonna punch you.
Love that story. I mean, I don't care. I don't care if that story has been is spurious and been blown out of proportion. Fuck that guy.
Oh, I'm also super into the Bobby Sapphire slow playing story as well. I just like all things spice.
Yeah, we love a bit of drama. I don't
Yeah.
watch soaps or TV. I want drama
Yeah.
on
I want
communities.
drama in my Destiny scene.
Yeah, I just love like when there is a spicy little thing, just like comment on it saying like I'm just here for the notifications
Yeah.
to see what shit people are saying.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, we've been talking long enough.
Yeah, it's 9 o'clock and I need to go eat pizza and tidy the house.
Oh, okay. Well,
Rock and roll.
I'm probably going to play some Fortnite because my friends are online and they've been playing that a lot recently. So I thought I'd join them.
Awful. Go play with Jay. I hear he's real good at it.
Oh, he plays on PC though, and
Oh yeah, PC Master Race.
yeah, and I've got my laptop, but I could do that, or
Oh
I
man,
can
it's not hard.
just play on my TV with my PlayStation, maybe. Yes, I will.
You could.
Anyway, so yeah, I think if you manage to sit through all of this, then
Uh, I mean,
congratulations.
they're staring at our gorgeous faces.
I mean, there has been times when you've been
People have got
talking.
this bad boy on mute and they're just watching us.
Well, you've been talking times, and I've just been like, the thing is, this normally happens when we do a Well, when we do a podcast, normally when you guys talk, I'm playing Gwent or Hearthstone or
Yeah.
something, and I've been looking at my phone. I've been forgetting I'm on camera, and I pick my nose once or twice. You know.
Well, that's the money shots right there.
Exactly. I
That's what
mean,
we'll see.
that's what. Put that on a fucking t-shirt. Me picking my nose.
Yeah,
Ooh,
I will.
that'll sell
You're gonna
some.
get blown out
That'll make you some
by
money.
euros.
Right.
Right.
Cool. Well, thank you very much for watching. We might just we're just gonna do things like impromptu nowadays. Just fire things out when we can. Oh yeah.
I think.
Thanks to Patreon. Who was it?
Oh, now you put me on the spot. No, Jonathan.
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 Yes.
Who was
Yes, Queen.
yeah, Queen. When we were, I was playing Chance Cube. He was playing as well, and just kind of wandered over at the end of it and was like, "Hi, I'm Jonathan. I'm also English. How are you?" And I was like,
He's
"Oh my
not
God,
English.
another
Don't insult
Englishman."
him. He's Irish.
Okay,
Don't
he was Irish.
do not call an
Another-
Irishman English.
Another
if you want
member
to
of the
survive.
British Empire came across and was like, "Hello, good sir. I am the Archbishop of Banterbury. Would you like to go for a cheeky Nando's?"
Is that
And I was
from?
like, "Bruv,
Is that from Fresh Meat?
yes it
I
is."
fucking love that show.
Yeah, Jack Whitehall,
Yeah.
what a lad, just not a lad in any way.
That is great.
Yeah, and then he just then we just kind of had this group of the British.
Yeah, I guess another thing is that I really enjoy not having the American people hanging out with the European people as well, like hanging out with Klaus and stuff, and seeing Tobias and seeing my boy David Levy. I like, I've got a soft spot for that little German guy. We were talking we were talking music. We've been sending each other some recommendations. In fact, I need to listen to his recent recommendations, and I've got some good shit for him to listen to.
Yeah.
So anyway, I really hope, Danny, I'm just going to say this now, that this is fucking recorded and that the sound quality is all right, because I didn't check that.
Man.
So if it hasn't,
It's
shit. But if it has,
yeah,
cool.
It'll be fine. If not, release it anyway because it's been a long fucking. And people can just crack their mics up or whatever, right?
Just turn it up. Just turn it up, or
it up.
turn it down if it's too loud. Anyway, that's enough from me. That's enough from Danny. Go fuck yourself.